recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't here for my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of Famous Fun.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please get those likes up. All right, let's see who is in here. Claudette, Mr. Elevation, Capricornus, All Hell No, Stacy, Bronze Flat Power God, Vivica, Africa, Perplex, excuse me, Missions, Vision. Okay, Miss Evie is here, Stacy, Vince I am from the UK, Pearly, Cherokee Descendant Dale, Mr. Elevation, the lovely T. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat. I'll see you, Deronda. I'll see you in the chat. Okay, Nessie X. Everyone, please get those likes up. Let's get this party started. All right. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Okay, so let's talk about it. First of all, these people are so upset about OJ's brain. Please pay attention. What's the name of that guy that took out his wife and son some years ago because he was on steroids? You all know who I'm talking about? Hold on. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, his name was Chris something, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Chris Benoit. Yeah, okay. Is that how you say it? Benoit. That's who I'm talking about. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's look that up real quick. Because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm probably saying his name wrong. Chris Benoit. Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, double murder and then took himself out. All right. This happened back in 2007, over a 2-day period between June the 22nd and June the 24th of 2007. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, hold on for a second. Hold on, beloveds. Okay. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce his name. Chris Benoit. Okay, Bivlin. Okay, there it is, Bivlin. Benoit. It's a French name. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, because I don't like to mess up people's names. At the end of the day, my whole thing is why weren't they trying to get his brain? Or were they? Because I never heard of it. Okay. I'm sorry. I never heard of them trying to get his brain. But they are mad because they wanted OJ. So let's talk about it real quick. Now, in the years since it has become clear that Benoit suffered from CTE, a degenerative brain disease caused by repeated head trauma, this article provides an in-depth analysis of Chris Benoit's life and career, the factors that led to his development of CTE, and the effects of CTE on his behavior and his mental state. Now, why is this important? Well, they claim some of these people that wanted to study OJ's brain wanted to do so because they claimed that they felt like he may have had CTE. Now, I find that interesting because they say that Chris Benoit definitely had it. This is what they say. So they had empathy and sympathy for him and what he did because they felt like there was a mental issue, something wrong with his brain that led him to do something so heinous and vile. Okay? But they didn't give OJ that same benefit, that's all I'm saying. But now they want to use that as their excuse for why they need his brain. Everyone's disappointed by decision on OJ Simpson's body. It goes on to say NFL fans are disappointed by the decision on OJ Simpson's body following his death earlier this week. Now, Simpson, who was infamously accused of murdering his ex-wife and her friend Ron Goldman, was ultimately acquitted. However, the accusation and trial followed him for the rest of his life. Now, this week, Simpson died following a battle with cancer. He was 76 years old. But while many were hoping that Simpson's brain would be studied for possible CTE, that won't be happening. They say with OJ, everything's wild, but I've been getting calls from medical centers that are doing CTE testing, asking me for OJ's brain. That is not happening. That's what Malcolm Laverne says. Saying, I may consult with the children on it, but I haven't heard anything about it. So it's just not going to happen. OJ wants all of his body cremated for his children to do what they see fit. Fans are disappointed. They say this literally will explain everything, one fan wrote. Nah, he definitely needed his brain studied. Someone says, well, crap. Wish they had reconsidered it. And then someone said, this is a huge mistake. Someone else says he should be studied. At the end of the day, study him for what? He's not an animal. My thing is whether or not he's guilty, he was acquitted. The bottom line is, why didn't they study the brains of those two men that did what they did to Emmett Till? That's whose brain I would like to know what's going on inside of there. What makes someone do something so heinous, vicious, and vile to someone that they don't even know, who in fact is a kid? Okay, because they thought someone looked at someone or said something to someone. Yeah, let's study those type of brains. I don't know why they want to study OJ's. Did they have the nerve to get mad? Did they want to study Chris Benoit's brain? Did they want to study Aaron Hernandez's brain? Aren't they whole killers? I'm just saying. I find it all so interesting. See, this is what they do. Now, like I said, when OJ was alive, they never gave him the benefit of the doubt to say that, maybe he was suffering from CTE. No, they didn't say that. All they talked about was how vicious and vile he was and did everything they could to bring him down because he was acquitted of what they felt that he should have been absolutely convicted for. Okay, and then they come out and have all of this to say once he's dead. My thing is, when their little criminals die, do they come out and talk trash about them after they're gone? No, they don't. Here's another reason why they're mad, because OJ had left plans or, left authorization for his body to be cremated. Here's why they don't like that. Because if OJ was wasn't cremated and he had a burial with a tombstone and all of that, and I'm sure OJ knew this, well, all they're going to do is be shooting at it, defacing it, doing all kinds of vile things like they have continued to do to Emmett Till, who was a victim. Emmett Till didn't do anything to anybody. He was the victim of heinous actions, depraved actions. But they sit up there and deface his tombstone. Same thing they have done to Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton didn't do anything, but so this is what they do. So of course they would do the same thing to OJ. So yeah, OJ didn't want to be buried with a headstone or any of that in some funeral where they can go look him up and do all kinds of heinous things to his grave, desecrate and all of that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they're mad, because they don't know what's going to happen to the cremated remains, whether they're going to take them out to the ocean and let them go away, whatever. They're going to keep them in an urn at their homes or whatever. They don't know. And so they don't like it. Okay. Talking about they need OJ's brain for what? What are you going to study? If they haven't been studying the own people amongst them who do wicked, vile, and heinous things, I don't know why they want to study OJ. Funny to me, they never studied Albert Hamilton Fish, who was a notorious, prolific serial killer back in the 1930s, who was doing all kind of wicked, nefarious things to kids. They didn't study him. This man had over 10 different types of sick and depraved fetishes, and one of them was cannibalism. So I'm sorry, they don't want to study his brain. They don't want to study the brain of Ed Gein, who was also a prolific killer from Wisconsin. Okay, the one that they got the idea from for the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the character Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. They don't want to study their brains. I have questions. Why did they want to study the brains of Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy? But they want to study OJ's brain for CTE. Yeah, well, they didn't have this much pressure about Chris Benoit's brain, okay? Or Aaron Hernandez is all I'm saying. So, yeah, I find it all very interesting. Please pay attention. With that all being said, let me continue. Now, listen to this. This woman, and let me put her picture up on the screen because she is so nefarious. She beat this poor child who has autism and is nonverbal. She was literally beating him on the school bus. The parents said that he was coming home with bruises and whatnot, and that she was basically the cause of it, which they didn't find out until sometime later. It's all so nefarious, but let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Horrifying footage shows a 10-year-old autistic boy being beaten by his teaching aide, who allegedly abused at least 3 children for months, leaving them with bruises and marks. Kiara Jones, age 29, has been charged with third-degree assault on an at-risk person last week and is scheduled for a preliminary hearing on May the 3rd. In the video provided by Rathad Mohammad Bai, LLC, attorneys at law, are the firm representing the three families. They say Jones can be seen repeatedly punching the child who has severe autism and nonverbal ability while they sat together on the school bus. This is low down and dirty. Heartbroken parents of the children at the Joshua School in Inglewood spoke out on Tuesday, alleging that the abuse on the school bus had persisted for months. So let's just go to the footage because this is all so crazy. This woman should be ashamed of herself. If you don't like kids, why are you getting a job where you're working around them? Like, make it all make sense. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
The parents of a young boy want you to see in hopes that it'll force change. Their son gets beaten on a school bus. Now an aide on that bus, Kiara Jones, faces assault charges. This family feels the Littleton School District didn't do enough when they first started noticing injuries on their son. Good evening, I'm Mikaela White.
And I'm Michael Spencer. The parents wanted to share their story and the video with your reporter, Kelly Worthman, who joins us now live in studio.
And Kelly, that video is so difficult to watch.
Yes, it is. And the parents want to know, if that doesn't make you angry, what will? You have fractured bones, a knocked out tooth, deep bruises, and immeasurable heartache. Those are just some of the injuries to at least 3 students, allegedly at the hands of a woman trusted to care for them. The kids take a special bus provided by the Littleton school system to get to one of Colorado's most highly regarded private schools for students with autism. Yet as their parents discovered, they say that bus was a place of torture.
My sweet and loving son.
Fighting back tears, a father is overwhelmed with emotion, almost unable to share the unthinkable that his little boy endured on the way to school.
Had been being beaten.
His 10-year-old son Dax has severe autism and is nonverbal, so he couldn't tell his parents that the caretaker he sits next to on the bus punches, jabs, stomps, and smacks him.
The torture and torment of my sweet boy could have been stopped.
Dax's mom says she noticed strange bumps and bruises on her son months ago, but Littleton Public Schools told her there was nothing to be concerned about. Then her son's injuries became worse, and that's what led to her obtaining this disturbing video of her son's unprovoked assault on March 18.
This is absolutely egregious. And that little boy was just sitting there in the seat. It's not like he was doing anything. This woman is sick in the head. She just doesn't like kids or something. They need to put her under the jail. They need to put her under the jail. And then the school's sitting there telling her, the parents, when they went and talked about it, there's nothing to be concerned about. Oh, that's absolutely something to be concerned about. Okay, if the child's coming home with bruises, where are these bruises coming from? Like, make that make sense. This is all crazy. That lady needs to be straight in jail. Okay, please pay attention. Now, it goes on to say, the mother says, "How dare you fail my son in such an astonishingly preventable way." Jessica Vestal, mother of Dax, who was seen being cruelly beaten on the bus as she wiped away her tears. Now, 3 kids were allegedly abused by Jones when they traveled on a specialized bus, school bus operated by Littleton Public Schools. They were on the bus every day between their homes and the Joshua School, a specialized school offering one-on-one instruction for autistic students. Now, according to Cindy Lestad, executive director of the Joshua School operates independently from Littleton Public Schools. Now, a video from the school bus on March 18th shows Jones elbowing Dax in his stomach first, then striking him in the face before slamming the 10-year-old's head into the bus window. The boy was beaten so hard that his head flung back to hit the seat, according to investigators who watched the video, and they wrote this in the documents. Now, in photos released by the family's attorney, the autistic child had serious bruises on his feet from the March 18th incident, but further evidence shows he suffered cuts on his lips and bruises on his neck 2 months prior to this. Vestal said she contacted the school board and texted Jones immediately after noticing injuries on her son's foot and thigh. The next day, she was told that Jones would be charged with abuse, given surveillance footage from the school bus, to and from the Joshua School. So that's what made them pull the bus records after the mother complained. Now, Vestal said that she was in shock and could not even finish watching the video. I was immediately thrown into disbelief. How could someone that I trusted, someone that I was so friendly with, do this to my little boy? The devastated mother said that she brought Jones Christmas gifts, made her tea when she felt unwell, and the two text each other from time to time. So she was friends with this lady. She was cool with this lady associating with her and did this to her son. Now, between last September to March of this year, Vestal has a record of 15 dates when she found Dax suffering injuries, and she was told that 3 of those dates coincide with footage of Jones's alleged abuse. But Dax is one of multiple kids who came home from school injured, as 3 families have now spoken out, detailing their experiences and demanding justice for their autistic children. One person says, my son does not have the ability to tell me when someone is hurting him. My son does not have the ability that he was forced to watch someone hurting his friends. This is what Kevin Yarborough said, father of an 11-year-old severely autistic, nonverbal boy on Jones's bus. My son was abused by the people who were put into place specifically to protect him. In one of the videos or one of the photos made available by the family's attorney, the child's right ear can be seen bleeding after he got off the bus one day in October. A month prior, the boy who suffered life-threatening autism had his toe broken and was taken to the hospital. She must have stomped his foot or something. My husband and I struggled to find words to adequately express how incredibly horrified and appalled we were. This is what the third mother who alleged Jones abused her child said. Now, parents said sometimes autistic children could hurt themselves from time to time, and they all attributed the mysterious unexplained injuries to these incidents, thinking that the kids just did it themselves by accidentally, stumbling or whatever. Now, he is a self-injurious child. We usually, unfortunately, make the assumption that he has done this to himself, says Yarborough. She added that, I feel betrayed. We fight so much with districts and schools and teachers to make sure the kids have everything with their individualized education program. I never considered the bus for a second because it seems so basic. We have this assumption they're keeping our kids safe because that's their duty. Now I feel like we're going to question everyone forever. I'm not sure a lot of people would like, I'm not sure a lot of people would be like, why would you put this video of your kid out there? If you don't look at the words, don't encompass it. Okay, if he had to live through it, the least everybody else could do is pay attention to it so that it doesn't happen again. These are a lot of bruises on this child. These are an awful lot of bruises. Okay, now I would definitely have been suspicious had I seen this. I'll show them to you all in a moment. Now, beginning in or around September, the 3 families noticed unexplained injuries on their kids, including scratches, bruises, a lost tooth, a broken toe, a black eye, and other deep bruises on their bodies and feet. Now, this is all crazy. Kids coming home with a black eye and a knocked out tooth. Something's got to give. Now, they also observed significant shifts in their children's behaviors and brought up their concerns to the school. In an email to the Joshua School in January, Vestal asked about bruises on her son's arm, neck, and thigh. They said, we reviewed the video and there is nothing out of the ordinary that occurs during the ride home. This is what Michelle Molina, the Littleton District's Transportation Operations Supervisor, said via email. Clearly, she was lying. Did she even really watch the tapes? She couldn't have watched the actual footage unless she's just purposefully lying. Now, according to the attorney representing the families, the Joshua School raised its belief that abuse was occurring on the bus with Littleton Public Schools. LPS looked at a single bus ride and determined there was nothing to be concerned about and provided no further monitoring, allowing months of uninterrupted abuse to continue. So they just looked at one videotape, which was dumb. They should have looked at at least 4 or 5 over a period of weeks or months, specifically weeks, I would think. Now, after Jones was arrested this month, the Littleton Public Schools released a statement saying Jones was hired in August after satisfactory reference checks and after passing a thorough background check. She had very limited access to students during her employment with LPS. She has had no contact with students since March 19th, the day her employment was terminated. That's what the statement says. So at the end of the day, yeah, she definitely needs to be locked up. But I'm going to show you all these bruises. Because this is all crazy as far as I'm concerned. Now, had I seen this, I would definitely have had several questions. Please pay attention. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. You all see that? Look at those bruises on your thigh and the back of your arm. Like, that's all crazy. Look at that. Look at all these different bruises here. Look like somebody was definitely punching on this kid. So this is all said, and this is why I always keep telling you all about homeschooling, because you can't trust some of these people. And then we've heard many stories about autistic nonverbal students being abused by staff and teachers. I mean, these people are clearly annoyed with these kids for whatever reason, or just don't like them. But why do you choose to work with them? This doesn't even make any sense. We've heard so many of these stories. Please pay attention. Anyway, let's talk about this nefarious man who poisoned his own baby with antifreeze. Put it in the breast milk. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Let me put his picture up on the screen. That's him right there. Okay, him and the poor baby. Now, this fool put antifreeze in the baby's milk because he didn't want to pay child support. So let's talk about it. This is all so wicked. Man who poisoned his newborn daughter with antifreeze sentenced to 50 years in prison. This happened in Fulton County, Georgia. Okay. A man will spend decades behind bars after he was sentenced to 50 years in prison for trying to kill his newborn baby daughter by poisoning the breast milk she was drinking with antifreeze. Police say that Curtis Jack had tampered with bottles of breast milk that he picked up from the baby's mother. The mother was hospitalized after giving birth to their daughter on September the 24th of 2020. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up the footage. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go. This is just a brief clip.
It all started when Curtis Jack got his coworker pregnant. She told police Curtis tried to get her to terminate the pregnancy for the entire 9 months. Once she had the baby, she had to stay in the hospital. So she told the father to come pick up breast milk from her and take it to the baby at the grandmother's house. Curtis told police he put antifreeze in the milk because he didn't want to pay child support.
That could have killed that child.
Yes.
It didn't. But once Curtis was indicted and faced several charges, including attempted murder, he took back his confession. So detectives and the DA's office had to work even harder to make sure the case was solid and they got a conviction.
This is all so nefarious. Okay, low down and dirty. But here's the thing. Why would she ask him to go do anything for the baby? He was asking her to get rid of it for the whole 9 months. That means even after it was fully formed, it was a whole living, breathing human being in there. And he's still trying to get her to get rid of it. Honey, I wouldn't have wanted him to do anything for that baby. Okay, but let me continue. He's going to get exactly what he deserves when he gets to prison. Please pay attention. And so goes on to say that Jack would pick up the bottles with the intention of delivering them to the child's grandmother, who was helping to take care of the child due to the mother's hospitalization. After giving the child the bottles of milk, she became critically ill. Due to the newborn becoming so critically ill in such a short time, poison was already suspected. So that's the first thing they thought of. That's one of the quick things that they thought of. First thing. Now, the daughter, who was only 18 days old, had suffered very serious injuries as a result. She was taken to a local hospital and doctors quickly began to run tests. She tested positive for ethylene glycol, which is a chemical often found in automotive antifreeze. And this stuff can cause your kidneys to fail and all kinds of things. Jack was quickly named a suspect and warrants were obtained to arrest him for criminal attempt to commit murder and cruelty to children in the first degree. He would then later admit to detectives that he added antifreeze to the breast milk. According to authorities, Jack had been in an intimate relationship with the child's mother since January of 2020. He did not want her to have the child and insisted she terminate the pregnancy. Multiple people testified in court against Jack at his trial, including the child's mother, grandmother, law enforcement officers, and medical experts. The testimonies also included a demonstration of how easy it was to poison the breast milk. Police announced on April the 11th that the jury had found Jack guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to 50 years in jail, but only 40 of them will be served in custody. Just low down. I mean, who thinks of that? To your own child because he didn't want to pay child support. Wow. Thank God the child is still alive because he really tried to take that baby up out of here. Okay? And so likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now let's talk about this Lyft driver who got draped without the D. And this happened in Alpharetta. Lyft driver was raped, kidnapped, and robbed by a passenger. Now, this happened in Georgia. I mean, a lot of nefarious things go down in Georgia. Please pay attention. Alpharetta police have made an arrest in the rape and kidnapping of a Lyft driver last month. Police said the female driver picked up her passenger, DeMarcus Johnson, on March the 11th. Johnson, age 32, has been accused of giving the woman a sedative, stealing her car, kidnapping, and sexually assaulting her. Investigators with Alpharetta police told Fox 5 that their reporter Rob DiRienzo that the woman woke up in a hotel room unfamiliar to her and her car was gone. Captain R. Andrew Splon said during the ride in March, the victim and the suspect connected and decided to get drinks together. They say the two engaged in conversation and agreed to have a drink with one another. This is what Captain Splon says. Now, at which time the victim doesn't remember and is unable to account for the events that evening. Clearly, probably put some GHB or something in her drink. Okay, please pay attention. Now, Splon said her toxicology report came back with prescription narcotics that she had not been prescribed and did not report taking. Johnson was caught on April the 5th and faces charges of each crime, including a felony for theft by taking. Now, they say safety is fundamental to Lyft. This is the statement that Lyft released, saying safety is fundamental to Lyft and the behavior described is reprehensible and has no place in our community or anywhere in society. We have been in contact with the driver to offer our support. Additionally, the rider's account was permanently removed from the Lyft platform, and we assisted law enforcement with their investigation. Now, Captain Splon encouraged people using ride shares, whether driving or riding, to keep their heads on a swivel. I want you all to pay attention. This is what the captain said. Okay, so now the police use street lingo. That's what he said. Tell the people to keep their heads on a swivel. Please pay attention. Now, he says, whether you're an operator or a driver in a ride share as a patron, it's always important to be aware of your surroundings and make sure you're vigilant. Okay? The Alpharetta Police Department is asking for anyone with additional information related to the incident or the suspect to contact detectives immediately at 678-297-6338. This is all so nefarious. Let me go to the clip. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Okay, here we go. I think I have a brief clip. Yeah, here it is.
An unbelievably disturbing series of events. It ended with that woman, the Lyft driver, waking up in a hotel room. She had no clue where she was. Her car was gone.
There was a Lyft driver who was given a patron a ride to a local area restaurant.
Alpharetta investigators say that patron was 32-year-old DeMarcus Johnson. During the ride, they say Johnson and the woman driving for Lyft connected.
The two engaged in conversation, agreed to have a drink with one another, at which time the victim doesn't remember and is unable to account for the events that evening.
Cops say at some point on the night of March 11th, Johnson drugged her.
Her toxicology report came back with prescription narcotics that she's not prescribed and that she reportedly does not take.
Investigators say the victim woke up the next morning in a hotel room unfamiliar to her. Her car was gone, and so was Johnson, and police say she realized she was raped. Cops say they worked with Lyft, tracked down cell phone records, and retraced their moves that night.
We worked with Lyft, and then we also worked with local area restaurants and hotels that they visited throughout the evening.
Last Friday, nearly 4 weeks after the horrific ordeal, Alpharetta police arrested Johnson on charges that include rape, kidnapping, and aggravated assault.
Wow. That is all so nefarious, and I want you all to pay attention. At the end of the day, is it just me, or does that fool look a whole lot like Malik Yoba? Because that's who he puts me in the mind of, okay? He puts me in the mind of Malik Yoba. What he did was so egregious. You can't trust people these days. Dang, how long was the ride for her to be comfortable to go and have a drink? Crazy. Well, this is probably after the ride. He probably paid her for the ride and then got out. They probably exchanged numbers or something. I'm thinking it was after the ride on a different occasion, maybe. But it's all crazy. You can't be trusting people out here. Some people just be doing the most. Now, let's talk about these nefarious 14-year-old twins. These twins went missing, okay? And when the police found them at a hotel with a whole grown man, they told the police to mind their own business. That's what they told the police. Shocking moment. Detroit twin sisters aged 14 who vanished without a trace a month ago are found by cops at a hotel with a 30-year-old man. Now, the missing twin sisters were found with Marcus Peoples, a 30-year-old man. The girls were discovered after Peoples used a stolen card to buy a hotel room. A shocking police body cam footage captured the moment the teens were found. So it says, police body cam footage captured the incredible moment two 14-year-old twin sisters who ran away over a month ago were found by authorities. The girls were found at a hotel. Now, they were first reported missing by their father on March the 8th after they both failed to return to their home on Robson Street in Detroit. On April the 8th, Detroit authorities announced that the twins were recovered and reunited with the rest of their family. In the body cam footage, officers could be seen standing outside the girls' hotel room, which was at the Comfort Inn off of I-94. Now, the police quickly separated the two girls from the 30-year-old. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. This is all nefarious.
Hotel in Allen Park Monday morning.
Here, YouTube, right here. Come here. We're talking. You go with him. You can go with the car. You go to the front desk.
Police officer body cam video.
I know who you guys are. I know who you guys are. Okay? And I know who's looking for you. Okay? Okay. And we're going to have to solve that tonight.
Identified as the 14-year-old twins missing from Detroit for more than a month. Runaways. Discovered alive and well in a hotel room at the Comfort Inn off I-94 near Oakwood.
What's going on? Why'd you run?
Don't worry about it. It's none of your business.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Police initially showed up at the hotel on a call of a stolen debit card being used to pay for the room the girls just happened to be in. The stolen card number belonged to a teenager from Nebraska who got an alert text from her bank. She immediately told her mother, who then called the hotel and the Allen Park police.
I didn't know that it was bigger than what it is until yesterday, and it was quite the shock, to say the least.
Another bizarre twist, one of the officers on the scene just happened to recognize the missing twins because he had dealt with them before.
If runaways don't want to go home, like, what would they do about it? Yeah, what would they be able to do about it? Put us in foster care, or
You'd have to go home first and then get all that figured out.
The girls telling police they didn't know the man they were with, that he just got them the room so they had somewhere to stay. As far as the stolen credit card number goes,
he's telling me now that his brother sent him that card number and he didn't know that it was a stolen number.
Marcus Peoples charged with fraud, using a stolen credit card, and harboring missing juveniles.
If you see something, say something, because if we wouldn't have checked on our credit cards right then and there, and if I would have just waited until the next day, it would have been maybe too late. I don't know. You just never know.
In Allen Park, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
Okay, so they are clearly something else. They told the police, don't worry about it. That's really none of your business. Okay, now they ran away from home. They didn't just, get abducted or anything. They left of their own free will. This is all crazy. Those attitudes they have need to be adjusted. Yes, absolutely. Now, in one part on another clip, they asked the police something about, do they have to go home, or can they go to foster care or something? I don't know what's going on in their home, but clearly they weren't thrilled about being there. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I'm going to go to another clip.
Right here. Come here. We're talking. You go with him. You can go with the car. You go to the front desk.
Police officer body cam video.
I know who you guys are. I know who you guys are. Okay? And I know who's looking for you. Okay? And we're going to have to solve that tonight.
Identified as the 14-year-old twins missing from Detroit for more than a month. Runaways. Discovered alive and well in a hotel room at the Comfort Inn off I-94 near Oakwood.
What's going on? Why'd you run?
Don't worry about it. It's none of your business.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Police initially showed up at the hotel on a call of a stolen debit card being used to pay for the room the girls just happened to be in. The stolen card number belonged to a teenager from Nebraska who got an alert text from her bank. She immediately told her mother, who then called the hotel and the Allen Park police.
I didn't know that it was bigger than what it is until yesterday, and it was quite the shock, to say the least.
Okay, that's the exact same video. I thought that was different footage because did you all hear the part where they were asking the police, like, do they have to go back home? Like, what if we don't want to go back home? Can we go to foster care? And the police says, no, you have to go back home and deal with that later. Okay, Miss Evie said human trafficking. At the end of the day, that's probably what that man was absolutely up to. But how did they get to where he is? Now, when they ran away from home, they probably ran off to be with him. Like, he didn't just meet them. And they were sitting there lying, in my opinion, talking about they don't know who he is. He just got them a hotel room so they'd have somewhere to stay for the night. Yeah, nobody's that friendly at the end of the day. He didn't think to call the police when he saw two young girls say they ran away from home, both 14 years old, they don't have any money, they don't have anywhere to stay, and he has to get them someplace to go. Yeah, please, okay? He's a whole predator. Leon said, where's the parents? I don't know. In Detroit, beloved, because they ran away a month ago. Okay, they just vanished, disappeared, and the parents have been looking for them ever since. They probably met that man online. That's why you have to be careful of what your children are doing and whom they're talking to when they're on the internet. The ethnicist says, I actually thought that they were in danger. I'm sure everybody did, but look at them. They told the police that's really none of your business. And then they also don't want to go back home. They do not want to go back home. Okay? They didn't show the twins, but they showed the teen whose card was stolen. Well, they didn't show the twins because they're underaged. They're 14 years old. They're minors. That's why they didn't show their faces. They're minors. But yeah, interesting that they did show the girls whose card was stolen. I don't know how old she is. But yeah, they're definitely minors. Okay? Maybe I'm judging them too fast. Why wouldn't they want to return home? That's what I'm saying, Malcolm. I don't know. That's why I said I wonder what's going on in the home that makes them not want to go back. Is there anything going on? Or do they just not want to have rules and want to be able to do what they want to do? I don't know. It seems like they just want to be doing what they want to do. I mean, you sitting up there missing and the police find you and tell you they know who you are. Because the police officer obviously recognized them from the missing posters and the stories about them being missing. So they're sitting there talking about that's none of your business. Oh, okay. As if they have any actual business is all I'm saying. Okay, and so listen to this. I'm going to tell you all this, and then I'm up out of here. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Do you all remember the story that I reported on about a year ago about a Black woman who was disabled, had about 6 kids, and she was living in this apartment, and the landlord wanted her to move because he said he wanted to rent it to white tenants, and he said she didn't do anything wrong. He just wanted her out of there. You all remember that story? Because I was just thinking about that the other day, and I said, you know, let me go do an update and find out whatever happened with that story, because the lady was supposedly suing the landlord for this, right? So I found out something I thought was very interesting. And for those of you who missed the story, the initial story, let's just briefly go over it real quick. Because here's what happened. It had everybody in an uproar. Okay, rather put a white family in this unit. Ohio mother claims owner demanded she move off the property via damning text. The landlord says someone was impersonating him. Okay, now, this was reported March the 30th of last year. A Cincinnati woman is suing her landlord, claiming he violated her civil rights, demanding she move out of the property because of her race. Her lawyers say that there were voicemails and text messages proving the landlord wanted her gone, not because she was a bad tenant, but simply because she was Black. The landlord denies these claims. He says that he just wanted the woman and her family evicted because they trashed his home. He also told WCPO that someone was impersonating him, a claim that he says he can prove. Now, Dermisha Pickett, the mother of 6, hired civil rights attorney Fanon Rucker to file a racial discrimination counterclaim against Sergi Briskman, the owner of the home the family was renting for 8 years. She says that she has never missed a rental payment, nor has she ever been late paying her rent to any of the various owners of the home. Now, Briskman purchased the house in 2020 from another owner who allowed the property to go into foreclosure. Pickett, who is disabled, moved into the home in September of 2014 and has been raising her family there since. She started having issues with her new landlord in January of 2021, according to the lawsuit. Now, he started suggesting that he no longer wanted her living at the property. Okay. This all came to a head in January of 2023 when the house needed to be inspected as part of the Federal Housing Choice Voucher Program known as Section 8. So the Section 8 program requires any needed repairs to be fixed in order for the landlord to continue to receive payments through the federal program that covers a portion of the tenant's rent based on income. So he says, I'm not fixing anything until you leave the house, so I will make sure it doesn't pass inspection on February the 15th. That's what the complaint says, the complainant says he wrote in a text message. Now, the lawsuit alleges the landlord told her on multiple occasions he did not want a black family living on his Hamilton County property anymore. He says, I told you I'm not getting anything. The inspection will fail because I'm not fixing anything or doing anything until you are gone. I told you I want you gone and I will not rent African Americans again. I don't know why the previous landlord did. I don't know why the previous landlord did. Sorry, I hope you found your place. So please stop texting me. Okay, this is a message that was sent on February the 10th. And there's pictures of the actual text messages. Now, Briskman, in another text on February the 15th, reportedly wrote, it's nothing against you. I would just rather put a white family in this unit. You did nothing wrong. I just don't want a family of color here. Maybe you should try to go to a shelter. That's what he says. Now, Briskman, who also tells the tenants in the text message that he will call the police to get her out if she doesn't move. That's another thing he posted. Okay, Pickman did have difficulty finding a new home that was the same size and cost and was as safe, according to the complaint. She also has a child who requires regular medical attention, and so Pickett couldn't move too far away. Now, the mother asked the landlord for additional time to find housing, but he posted a 3-day notice to vacate on the door on March the 3rd instead. So, he didn't want to give her any extra time. Now, the tenant found a new home in a less safe neighborhood on March the 9th, but she would not be able to move into the property until another 3 weeks. Pickett asked Briskman if she could pay him a prorated amount to continue to stay in the home until her new place was ready. But he refused and told her to go stay in a hotel. He filed an eviction notice that day, according to the lawsuit. And on March 13, in a voicemail, Briskman said that he was trying to sell the house and needed her to hurry up and give the keys, turn in the keys before again reminding her that I don't want any African Americans in the home. The lawsuit accuses Briskman of discrimination, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and violating housing laws. The eviction claim also puts Pickett at risk of losing her housing assistance, according to the lawsuit. Now, it says, my initial thoughts are really 4 words. Are you kidding me? Says Rucker, Pickett's attorney. This lawsuit and the evidence that we have in this lawsuit completely dispel whoever may be misled into believing that people are not still subjected to discriminatory actions by others who are afraid to be openly racist. Now, according to BuzzFeed News, the property owner alleges in his eviction complaint that Pickett was notified to move out within the next 30 days on January 12th because her rental agreement had expired. Pickett said she never received a formal eviction complaint. Now, Briskman has denied sending the text messages or leaving voicemail messages. He told WPCO that he's not racist and that he has sent his phone data to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to prove someone impersonated him. He also expressed confidence that the evidence that he will present in court will clear his name. So this man said that he did not make these text messages, that he didn't send them, and that he didn't leave any voice messages. So what do you all think? I have questions. He said that he didn't do it. Hold on. Let me go to the last report on this. Landlord told woman he did not want African Americans in the rental. Hold on. Okay, Rucker shared screenshots of a series of text messages he said are between Pickett, who is also disabled, and Briskman. Now, this basically when he talked about the inspection would fail and all of that, he said the eviction was based solely on race, which is a violation of both state and federal law. That's what the attorney said. Now, Pickett has lived on the property since 2014. Now, in the counterclaim, Pickett and Rucker filed their counterclaim to the eviction in Hamilton County Municipal Court. A hearing was scheduled for that Friday, but Rucker has asked the case be moved to Common Pleas Court. Now, the counterclaim accuses Briskman of discrimination, violating the Federal Housing Act, and all of that. The claim asks the court to deny the eviction, order Briskman to enter a lease with Pickett, and for at least $50,000 in compensatory and punitive damages. Well, I already knew that was going to happen. And so anyway, goes on to say that Rucker said that his client had been trying to move for months to avoid conflict. And just that week, she found another place and she had begun moving. Okay, but Rucker said he wanted to leave as many options open for her as he could. Now, the inquirer attempted to reach both Briskman and two attorneys listed on court documents as his representations, but they couldn't get in touch with them. And so Fannin Rucker says, I've been doing this for about 25 or 26 years. I can't recall any time in any case that I've dealt with where the evidence of discrimination is more glaring. Okay, and so like I said, the man is claiming that the woman did these text messages herself. He's saying that he didn't do it and that he's got proof that she lied about all of this stuff and just said all of this. He said that she was damaging the property and that's why he wanted her out of there, saying that she basically trashed his property. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because if she lived there for 8 years, if she lived there from 2014 until he became the owner, how come none of the other 3 or 4 owners ever had a problem with her trashing the place? How come they continue to let her live there? I don't think she's lying. I think he's lying. And I think the courts just go along with it because we know how this all can go down. Okay, let me just share my screen real quick so you all can see this report. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
The woman is facing federal charges, accused of making false racial discrimination claims. Jessica Schmidt has more from prosecutors at the Alert Desk. 33-year-old Darmisha Pickett's case is now unsealed, and she just appeared in federal court in Cincinnati. Investigators say in March, Pickett told them that she'd tried to pay her rent, but her landlord gave the money back, telling her he did not want to rent to Black people. They say Pickett gave them discriminatory text messages too that she claimed she'd gotten from the landlord. Phone records, though, investigators say, show that Pickett never actually got those messages and instead had used phone apps to create fake text messages and phone numbers. The landlord, who we're told owns more than 100 properties, told investigators it's true he did not want to rent to Pickett anymore, but said it was because she had been damaging the property. If convicted, Pickett will face up to 25 years in prison. At the Alert Desk, Jessica Schmidt, Fox 19 Now.
What do you all think about that? Do you all believe that she made this whole thing up? What do you all think? T if y'all said, Lord, if she did lie, this is terrible. Right. Aeon says, so the media lying for him. I don't know. I have a whole lot of questions. He didn't want to have to pay basic for maintenance. Sounds like a slumlord. That's what it sounds like to me, because listen, the stuff that she said was very detailed. Aeon said, no, I believe her. I believe her too, because for me, the stuff she said was very detailed. Okay. And let's not forget, like I said, the main thing is These other landlords who were there before this guy ever showed up, they did not ever complain about her. She was staying there since 2014. All of a sudden, when he comes, it's a problem. I don't think she made that up. Now, they said that she created that on apps. Did they have proof that she did? Because they could simply have just said that and come up with that as an excuse to say, well, you know, we can't verify that you that he sent you these text messages. How do they know that he didn't create apps and send the text messages rather than sending them from his phone? How do they know he didn't do that? I just have questions. At the end of the day, I don't believe it because I know how they lie on people who look like me, especially when they've done certain things. Let's not forget how every time there's been a hate crime, 9 times out of 10, okay, actually it's probably 10 times out of 10, they'll say that the person did it to themselves. They'll act like, oh, there's nothing to see here, folks. There's no hate crime. There's no reason to suspect foul play. It looks like they did it to themselves. So somebody went up there, climbed up a tree and put themselves up there and then pulled their pants down to their ankles. Is that what we're supposed to believe? Like they said in the case of the young man in Ferguson, Missouri, whose mother was an activist when the Michael Brown incident occurred. That's what we're supposed to believe. He got up there and did that to himself. How was he suspended in midair? How did he get up there? There was no ladder. There was no stepping stool. Did he climb the tree? And if so, how did he put his hands behind his back after he put himself up there from a limb and then pulled his pants down to his ankles? Who does that? So we know how they can lie and paint narratives, and the media encourages the lies and goes along with it. Let's not forget that the late, great journalist and reporter, Max Weber, said one of the things he hated the most about being a journalist was the fact that they had to manufacture and make up lies and stories about African Americans. So no, I'm sorry. I don't believe anything that they say unless I see the actual factual proof. Okay, because where is this evidence? Okay, and then pay attention. Now she's charged. Okay, now she's charged and facing prison time. I bet she lost her Section 8 and everything. Of course she did. So this is all so crazy. You'd be surprised during the previous years of residency, there's probably no inspection done. Once he took ownership, he probably inspected the property and recognized overlooked damages. Well, here's the thing. That could be true. But if there was overlooked damages, and which I would expect there would be some damages, because if you live there for 8 years, it's just normal wear and tear. But here's the thing. If there were overlooked damages, that's his job to fix it. He said, according to her, I don't know who's lying, who isn't, but if what she says is true, he said he wasn't going to repair that stuff so that she would fail the inspection. Now, if you're so concerned about your property, it would seem to me that you would definitely want to repair things, because he still could have gotten her out of there if he just wanted her out of there. That's eventually what he ended up doing, you know. So I just don't believe it. I mean, she could be lying like they said, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know who would make up all of this to do and go through all of this, paying for a lawyer and all of this stuff. This woman's on disability, has 6 kids. Okay. And here's the thing. You think that for the whole time, all these other landlords were living there, none of them, not a one, ever did an inspection? Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Any good landlord worth their salt will go and check on their property at some point. They're not going to let you live there for years and they've never come in and looked inside to see what you got going on. That's just not going to happen. Okay. And you think that in those 8 years, there was never anything like the sink, the toilet, you know, the stove, the refrigerator, anything that never needed to be repaired, that the owner, none of the owners ever had to send someone to do maintenance work? Of course they did. So yes, these people have seen that house. So that's what I'm saying. She lived there for 8 years. Some of those landlords saw inside of that house. Whether they went there to do an inspection or not, they nevertheless have been to that house, I'm sure. At some point in 8 years, work had to be done. At some point in 8 years, they had to come there for some reason, okay, mainly to check on it. Most landlords check on their properties, especially if you stand there for a lengthy period of time. That's what they're going to do. They got to make sure here's the thing. When they get ready to renew a lease, you don't think that's a good time for them to come and check it? Because if you tore up the house, I'm not going to renew the lease. So all landlords do that if they have sense. You mean to tell me all of the landlords previously were so foolish that they didn't think ever in any situation in any given year to come and check and see before letting her sign and renew the lease if there was any damages, if the place was trashed? Of course they did, especially because she had 6 kids. You think somebody's going to rent to a person with 6 kids and they're not going to ever come to check their property? Who does that? Of course they came to check their property. Of course they came to do inspections. And here's the thing. She was already on Section 8. So if she was already on Section 8, inspections have to be done anyway on a regular, don't they? Don't they have to have inspections done at least once a year, I would think? So yeah, they came there. So my thing is, Aeon says you can't even get assistance in the place if the place doesn't pass inspection. So thank you. So she didn't just get on Section 8, she's been on it, which is likely why she's been staying there since 2014. So with that all been said, of course they had inspections. This wasn't the first time. He didn't just come there and happen upon a mess. He's lying, okay? 9 times out of 10, he's lying. And they're lying for him. Because at the end of the day, like I said, he wanted that lady out of there. And the last thing they're going to do is act like this landlord, who's probably a whole slumlord, is sitting up there trying to get this black woman and her kids put out on the streets. When he said himself, if what she says is true, that he talked about how the house was kept up, how it's nothing against you. You didn't do anything. You never paid your rent late or any of that. So I'm sorry. And if Section 8 was paying for a majority of her rent and she only had to pay a small fee, of course her rent wasn't late. So yeah, I don't think there's anything other than the fact that he's racist, and what she says that he said is what I believe, that he didn't want somebody who looked like her staying there. That's just what it was. I don't want to rent to you. I don't want to rent to you, because if she was going to make up a lie about him saying all that stuff and doing all those things, in my opinion, she could have made it a whole lot worse and more elaborate. Okay? She simply said, he just told her, listen, it's nothing about you. You didn't do anything. I just don't want to rent to you. Just want somebody to want a white tenant to be here. Yeah, I believe it. Absolutely. Okay, please. Okay. At the end of the day, it's not like people like that don't exist. That's all I'm saying. I absolutely believe that's what happened. And I think that they're lying on that woman. And now they're trying to put her in jail for it. This is often the case. Just like the young man down there in Valdosta, Georgia, who was rolled up in the gym mats, according to them. And then when the family was suspicious and had investigators looking into the 2 boys whose father was the FBI agent, and then maybe insinuating that they thought they had something to do with it, well, then they turned around and sued the family for defamation or something. They sued the family. Okay, same thing that happened to that girl back in the day in the early 90s, I think it was, with Al Sharpton. I forget the girl's name, but Al Sharpton, and the girl said that a prosecutor and some police or somebody had raped her and all that stuff. And then so they did all kind of wicked stuff to her. And then they came back and said she was lying. I don't think she was ever lying. I don't think she was ever lying. They said her own boyfriend testified and said that she made it up or whatever. How do we know what they told him to make him tell it? I just have a whole lot of questions. And then they ended up suing the girl. I think it was the prosecutor sued her, and she's still paying him till this day. Because I think he got like a $600,000 settlement for legal fees or whatever. Okay? So at the end of the day, yeah, I don't put anything past people who would just make up lies just to be wicked and nefarious, just to make a person who looks like me look bad. Okay? That's what I don't think. That's what you ought to pay attention. So with that all been said, everyone please get the likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm about to conclude this broadcast. Before I go, let me show you all these Karens. I just want you all to see how dramatic Karens can really be. Okay, I know you already know, but let's just look at this, because I thought this was all so nefarious. Please pay attention. These Karens out here putting on whole shows just because they can. Here we go. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
I don't care. It's my mom. Your mom's fine. It's my mom. She did nothing wrong. Get me off of here. You're sitting there. You're watching that. You're watching us. I feel so attacked right now. I don't know what to do. Somebody please send help. I'm just so attacked. Help. He's the gavel. He's beating me.
Somebody get this ham sandwich out of my court.
Now, what was that all about? What was that all about? She just laid herself down on the floor and passed out. And the judge said, somebody get this ham sandwich out of my court. Not a ham sandwich. I find it all so nefarious, okay? Anyway, with that all being said, I'm out of here, okay? Everyone, please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, with that all being said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And for those of you who are members for the spiritual channel, I will be doing a members only broadcast at 6:15. Members only broadcast on the spiritual channel. All right, until next time, beloveds, enjoy the rest of this day. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. Real slick. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me?